you go somewhere and you have this idea. You want to recreate it on your island. But how do you do it? Well, I had an area that I wanted to recreate, so I decided to show you the thought process and what went into it. The first thing is you have an idea. This was a hike I went on. It had a lake with water, pine trees. Some of the trees were burned from a fire. There was a pathway. I had the perfect spot in mind. Number 2, the location on your island. This right here was a canyon that I had already built. It was pre-existing. This next level up here, I actually was in the process of turning it into a campground. I just need a tent probably to finish it off, but it fit in really well because we did hike past a campground while we were on this hike, so I decided to leave it. But the real area of interest is up top here. This is where I saw, in my head, the hiking trails. So my next step was the supplies. I needed trees, definitely. If you recall the picture, there were a lot of pine trees, so I bought 10 of them at Nooks. Next, I was off to my house to see what was in my inventory. I knew I needed dead trees, but I didn't think I had any. But I did have the wheat, so I grabbed a few of those. I did come back later and pick up more. I also later came back and picked up one of the bunnies that I had because I thought it would work. And I wanted to make sure I had hardwood because I needed a lot of dead trees. I think I made at least 5 of them. I also decided this area was regenerating after the fire from a couple years ago, so I would take the 3, I think I only have 3, full-size shrubs with me as well. Number 4 is to prepare the area. I had something in mind, and I needed to get rid of some trees and some flowers. I had to empty my pockets a couple of times to get ready, but I'll show you next what I had in mind. The next step 5 is to pick a path code. In this case, I decided I needed a wider path code than the single cell wide one that I already had, because this entire area for me was going to be contingent on the path. Alright, start with the key element. As I said, to me, everything was going to center around the path. I wanted it to move and sway, and then I was going to put all of the other elements around that based on where I put the path. So this was my first planning step. Next, number 7 is set the scene. By this, I mean everything else around it. I said that my path was the focal point, so now I wanted to line it with dead trees, live pine trees, and flowers and shrubs, and so I got to work. my 8th step was to continue this until I was done. So I laid path, I moved trees when they got in the way of where I wanted the path to go. When I got the path down, then I put in the flowers and the trees and the dead trees and the shrubs. My only real unknown in all this was what to do with this end, how to end it. I ultimately decided to make the trail end, although it didn't in real life, and to make the end of the trail a lot wider, I could put seating, maybe I could put a table there, and then from there, I finished decorating. For those of you who have been following my progress on Sun Canyon, the island of canyons, you may or may not know about my original island Amethyst and Amethyst Canyon. Therefore, I'm going to link right here to a video I did, a tour of my island Amethyst. Make sure you watch my section on Amethyst Canyon. Thank you for watching.